Survivor has been on TV for well over 23 years now, and who am I to tell them how to fix the show? What qualifications do I hold? Those are questions I want you to completely ignore as I and a few other fellow Survivor YouTubers suggest some ways to improve the show that we love so very, very much. Number 1. I probably thought up of 100 ideas on how to fix the show before I came to the conclusion that many of you have already had. Trust the cast. It seems like the further we get along in the show's evolution, there is a tendency to lean on forcing moments and not just letting the cast bring the drama and intrigue themselves. We don't need crazy dramatic twists from the show that require everyone running around doing a task for an advantage that needs to be played that very episode that no one even knows about and is brand new to them, especially when most of the time it just makes no impact and has people playing it safe. Any Big Brother fan can tell you that the more crap the show throws at their players, the safer and more conservative the gameplay tends to be leaned on. And I find this to be true in the new era of Survivor as well, with so many new things being thrown at them constantly that people are like, well, I'll just play it safe. Survivor thrives when it keeps its twists simple and easily understood and lets the players create the moments instead of production trying to force it and do it themselves. Fans remember the players, not the twists. By the way, thank you for watching and liking this video. This channel is patron supported, and that is how we stay independent enough to give our critical opinions. If you would like to support us, then Patreon is a great optional way to do so. Link in the description. Now with that, number 2.
I think a big way to fix modern Survivor is to stop casting a cast full of super fan game bots and cast more recruits, or at the very least casual fans. Now for sure, recruits can always be scary, as you run the risk of someone who just wants to be on TV and does nothing, which is even worse than a super fan game bot. But recruits have given us some of Survivor's most legendary characters, and a lot of the teen seasons of Survivor, which is considered Survivor's best decade, were mostly a cast full of recruits. Now I'm not saying we need a Survivor Fiji where the entire cast minus one person is recruited, but I do think a general blend of recruits and super fans would make for better television. I mean, players like Courtney and Tyson were TV gold in their first seasons. Just imagine how much of outliers their snarky personalities would be compared to a cast full of superfans with sad backstories. It would be hilarious, and I could only imagine that the gameplay would be much more dynamic. I mean, go watch Australian Survivor Brains vs. Bronze. The most boring of votes can turn into all-time iconic episodes due to recruits not understanding basic strategy. It may sound hypocritical as a superfan myself, but I think more recruiting would help make modern day casts feel not as bland and stick out more, resulting in all-around better television.
Number 3. This has been shouted from the rooftops for a long time, and I will say it again because it could possibly happen. The show needs a new location. They have been in Fiji now since season 33, aka 12 seasons ago. The word on the street is that 45 and 46 will also be filmed in Fiji, so 14 seasons in a row now. As I stated last year, Fiji is fine if they filmed in a new part of the country, as we saw the visual difference of season 14 when they did just that. But for the love of everything, find a new location to film in. This, along with us going from 39 to 26 days, seems to be even the most casual fans' complaints, and while I am no expert and understand there is a cost associated with this change, a new location would breathe new excitement into the show. Even if it was something simple, like Costa Rica, where Snake in the Grass was filmed, a show with a much lower budget than Survivor. Bring on something new for my eyes to feast upon, please. Number 4.
Thank you so much Once Upon an Island for once again including me in this video breaking down how to fix modern Survivor. Look, I'm not gonna brag, but I actually think this is working and we are fixing modern Survivor, as last year for the 2022 edition of this video, I said the best way to fix modern Survivor can be summed up in 2 easy words: more content. And although it's just a rumor for now, it's looking like we may be getting more content next season with Survivor 45, possibly including 90-minute episodes over the usual 60-minute episodes. This year, I'm gonna keep a similar simple theme and fix Survivor again and sum it up in 2 easy words: 2 tribes. For every season in the new era of Survivor, so far we've had the same format of 3 starting tribes going into the game. And now I understand we are in the new era and there is some things that we simply need to get used to. Looking back at the entire new era of Survivor shows the big problem with these smaller starting tribes, and that's obviously that there's very little room to maneuver and strategize if you feel like you're in trouble in the game. A big problem I see in current Survivor is new players going into the game and fans of the show have come to predict and anticipate what's going to be thrown at them in terms of Survivor puzzles, Shipwheel Island, and Sweat vs. Savvy. Going back to only 2 starting tribes is a step in the right direction of keeping players on their toes. Anyway, if you agree with me on this idea idea of returning back to only 2 starting tribes in Survivor and are looking for more Survivor content, please come check out my YouTube channel and subscribe to help me reach my goal of passing Russell Hanson subscribers.
Number 5. So earlier I said that the show needs to trust its cast. Now many fans have said, what if they do back to basics as a season? And while I think that would be a fun one-off season, Jeff has repeatedly been on record saying that will never happen. So let's meet in the middle. Advantages are here to stay, and I think we can all agree on idols being generally well liked. So I say let's keep the complexity and variety of advantages and idols in a season to 3, meaning there are no more than 3 different types of advantages that exist in a season. For example, a regular idol, knowledge is power, and half idols that can be combined with another half to make one full idol. This is simple, clean, easy to keep up with, and would allow for fun gameplay. I think most of us would rather just see the season have a different theme like David versus Goliath, rather than try to shove 15 new advantages in to make us excited. When things like do or die, control a vote, having back-to-back earn the merges, like in Survivor 44, beware advantages, and so much more are thrown into the mix, it's just too much for us at home to understand, and I think contributes to why we haven't seen any super memorable moments in a long time, with one exception, with one player. That is Jesse on Survivor 43. He is the only person to have any exceptions in this entire new era where he created 2 memorable moments, both due to the knowledge is power and 2 idols. When he ended up with Janine's idol and she had no idea about this until he plays it, that was amazing. And then an episode later, when he tricks Cody into letting him keep his idol, only to blindside him, our jaws drop. Wonderful, huge moments, all because of idols and the knowledge is power scaring people into letting others hold their idols. These only happened though because players knew what advantages there were and how they worked, so they tried to adapt to them. When there's brand new advantages that no one knows how they work and they're just trying to guess what the heck is going on around here, they play it safe. So let's keep it simple. Let's keep it down to advantages that people know about and know how they work. And I understand the show wants to do new advantages, but I do think there is a benefit to just letting everyone know, hey, this advantage exists this season and here's how it works. Number 6.
Thank you for the invitation, Once Upon an Island. As a Survivor enthusiast, I believe it's time to revamp the game by eliminating the repetitive journey to Decision Island. It's become a monotonous ritual, and the latest change of forcing players to lose a vote automatically has taken away the thrill and social aspect of this game. The early stages of the game are crucial for building alliances and getting to know your tribe members. Taking away the opportunity to socialize and strategize with new players is a disservice to the game's core. It's not only taking away the social aspect, but it's also manufacturing shocking moments that remove players' control over their game. Furthermore, the current iteration of Decision Island has made the game less exciting to watch. Giving idols on a platter to players who merely get on a boat at the right time is a dumbed-down version of the game. The excitement of searching for idols and earning advantages through hard work and strategy is what made Survivor a great show. In conclusion, I propose that Survivor eliminates the unnecessary trip to Decision Island and focuses more on character development and tribe dynamics back at camp. If you are interested in exploring this topic further, please check out my channel, The Nullified Take on YouTube, where I discuss Survivor and other shows on a weekly basis.
Number 7. As of the time of making this video, it is rumored that Survivor 45 and possibly beyond will have 90-minute episodes with commercials, meaning a regular episode will now go from being only 43 minutes to 65 minutes without commercials. This is incredible and is something the fans have been asking for years to happen, so thank you for that. Since that request has possibly been fulfilled, let me suggest one more very easy thing to implement. On all of these Survivor DVDs and Blu-rays, there are commentaries, secret scenes, Ponderosa videos, and so much more behind the scenes stuff that you don't even know about. Without owning the DVDs, you are reliant on hoping they exist somewhere on YouTube maybe, or watching my Survivor Secrets videos where I have cherry picked what I think are the best ones. But that's all my opinion. That might not be your opinion of what's interesting. And without spending $30 per season to own each DVD, you'll never see any of these. So my suggestion is, in the off season, upload these to Paramount Plus in like an extras section for Survivor, and that will intrigue fans to subscribe to Paramount Plus for only $10 a month versus having to spend well over $1,000 to get all the seasons. I would love to see fans discover these things for themselves and be able to talk about them and be joyful about them. Be like, wow, look at this. I had no idea about this. It would be a lot of fun and I would really enjoy it. And now it is time for your all suggestions that I asked for on my YouTube community tab and on Patreon. So starting with the patrons, Aubrey says they want more charismatic blue collar folk on the show. They're out there. I want to see them. And I agree with you, Aubrey. Did you know there are 4 states that have yet to have any people represented on Survivor? We are 44 seasons deep. How has there never been anyone from Alaska or West Virginia? Scott D says having a little variety in the challenges might prevent mostly, if not entirely, only female players being voted out in the pre-merge. Kevin says, add a dirt idol. It's an idol that doesn't have any power unless you eat a spoonful of dirt. It probably won't actually fix Survivor, but I think it would be really funny trying to see players try to eat dirt for an idol. I'm not sure if they would do that one, Kevin, but I had to include it. It was too funny. 5RG2 says, get rid of the earn the merge twist. They earned the merge by outwitting, outplaying, outlasting all of their opponents who were voted out before them, and make tribe swaps more common, but not like every season to shake it up so they can't predict whether or not there will be a swap. If there's not a swap, maybe include a mutiny or advantage to force a mini tribe swap or something. Randall says, I want an idol hidden at tribal council, and I wholeheartedly agree. By the way, Randall, this is something I think a lot of us have suspected. When is this gonna happen? It seems so obvious, but yet Survivor hasn't done it, or if they've done it, they haven't told us about it. Giovanni says, bring the auction back. I agree, but only offer food with small advantages hidden in them, such as challenge advantages, a second shot in the dark, and safety without power. Nathan says, I think bringing back themed seasons would add more character to the cast in the actual season. I am tired of basically watching the same season since 41. I think like Survivor Old School would be fun where there are no advantages besides idols and they are only found on Exile Island. Old school challenges like dart blowing or smashing each other's statues would be fun. Bring themed seasons back. Remigafob says, I want more villainous personalities. Also a winner with a villain's edit. When was the last time we had a winner with a villain's edit? It's been a long time. Brian from Gizmo Board Games, by the way, great YouTube channel if you're into board games, go check them out, says, I agree with more tribe swaps again. People are too cozy in their little family units with the new seasons. Instead of all these advantages trying to break up the alliances, why not just do random tribe swaps every couple of episodes? It would force the players to adapt and be more social and strategic. Then at the merge, throw in an idol or advantage or two to add a touch of chaos once the player movement has stopped. Okay, now for the YouTube comments. Tyler says, themed seasons need to come back. A lot of the new era just tends to blend together, especially with all the recycled assets between them. Tyler, I completely agree. Nick says, I think the biggest thing we are missing in the new era is character development. There are 2 primary ways I see to fix this. Number 1, give more screen time to relationships. You could do this by removing some twists or advantages or increasing episode length. Well, Nick, they are increasing episode length, so that's good. Additionally, the shorter length of the season, while it doesn't hurt the screen time for relationships, it gives people less time to develop real relationships, which comes through on screen. Hallelujah, Nick, I agree. Number 2 for them is stop casting stories. Oh, by the way, this has been going on in Amazing Race as well. Just want to let you all know that. In case you're not in Amazing Race, same thing. They seem to have shortened the time span and also casting stories. I don't know if it's Amazing Race and Survivor or if it's CBS. I don't know who it is, but is definitely something that needs to be moved away from. But Nick says it's absolutely inspirational to see some of the hardships these players have been through, but that's not why we watch Survivor. None of the Survivor greats have these incredible backstories. They're just people who are entertaining and play the game a certain noteworthy way. Queen Katara says, what's killing my enjoyment for the new era, which I for the most part love, is the editing. I don't feel like I fully understand to this day why Erica won, and I understand Gabler's game because I always respected it, but I know most people don't understand how he won either. I agree, Katara. I think Erica's edit was atrocious. I do have winner videos for Erica, Marion, and Gabler if you do want to get an in-depth analysis of how they got to the end and how they won, but I agree, the show does not do a great job always making it clear why someone won, unless you go back and rewatch it and then you're like, oh, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Queektara also says, I do think we need real pre-merge swaps, not just the one player moving to another tribe, because it's ridiculous that few women make it to the post-merge. Muhammad says, 26 days are too short, 39 was perfect. They suffered a lot more, and the family visit got me every time. With 39 days, the players will show their real face. I know the 13-day difference isn't that much, but I still think it has a huge impact. And of course, please, please, please bring back the intro. Muhammad, I completely agree. Bring back the intro. Genku says, why not try alternating between 2 and 3 starting tribes, and once in a while maybe have a final 2 and then switch back to a final 3. These are cost-free changes to make every other season feel just a bit different. Amara Jordan Music, another YouTube channel I recommend checking out, says, I'd like them to be out there longer, and if that means they need some rice, then let's get back to it. When the season is so short, it's not as emotionally trying because there aren't firm friendships and relationships that get built on the island, or people try to constantly avoid and vote out a member they really dislike. Indelaine says, I don't actually really mind the quantity of advantages, it's just how much screen time they eat out of each episode, especially since almost all new era advantages start in the pre-merge. Also, the fact that there isn't an official Survivor Advantage tracker is insane. Basic knowledge of the game state shouldn't be the responsibility of the fans. JP15 is me says, Survivor auctions, but each item comes with a little parchment note that they aren't allowed to open until they get back to the beach. Some of the notes are extra votes, some are idols, some are inheritance advantages or whatever else they want them to be. Some could say no vote, but they all say something and they all know you will get something with each reward, but your advantage can be known or a secret, and that's up to you how you get to play this game, or something like that in the way that Jeff speaks. TLDR, bring back the auction with advantages and disadvantages in each. I actually don't agree with this, but I wanted to include it because there's probably more people than JP who thinks this is a good idea, and so I wanted to include it. Anaya, man, I hope I said that right. Anaya says the challenges need to be updated, like keep the tree puzzle if you want, but update the pieces and the way they're cut. People shouldn't be able to print and practice this exact puzzle because the show is just too cheap to build new pieces. Amen. August the Nuz says, I'm watching the entire show in order and right now I'm only on Cook Islands, but I know they removed the intro later. Add it back, it only takes a minute out of the episode. Yes, absolutely, and especially with the longer episodes, there is no reason to not include it. Ryan Corbin says, to fix the Survivor game, they need a total reset on challenges. I hate that players came in with the answers to these puzzles already. I think it's okay to have a purely physical or purely non-puzzle mental task that can't be studied for ahead of time. It isn't rewarding television for those of us watching. I don't know exactly how to say his name, but you can see it on screen. Bring back the old Final Tribal Council format. Final Tribal Council is not as interesting, not as good TV when everyone's just interrupting each other and the format doesn't allow for personal emotional questions. With the current format, we'll never get another Snakes and Rats, Penner speech in Philippines, Trisha's question to Tony, or Eric and Samoa type of speech or question. And for our final suggestion on how to fix the show, EJ Crew says, I would want Wanda to return for every season. So what do you think? How do you suggest fixing Survivor? Comment below and let me know. Thank you for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. See you all next time.